7. Have we seen any like early game Sandhawk clashes 7 the last 2 days?
Yes, we have, and this is why I was kind of a bit surprised that, yeah, we're going to be getting this one right here with IG and S2S. I'm intrigued to see who's going to be winning this one, as IG is going to be able to strike first with those shotguns coming around. The flashbangs, not only flashing the player, but also flashing me. Darklight trying to make sure he fends off some of these players here from IG. As long as they don't line up for him, he should be able to take care of this. But Gloss is able to come around and just ends up surprising 2 players from IG. IG now trying to fight back. These players, I mean, these teams are just going to be hindering each other for their performance. But IG is going to end up coming out on top. And something that I wanted to mention that we have seen in the first 2 days of Sandhawk, with that second location that they're going to be dropping at, guess who they're going to be running into? None other than Alpha 7 Powerbang.
Oh, this is a tough one, man. Alpha 7's not a squad that you want to tussle with early on in the match because they're just so dang good. But as the plane was going in, I noticed that Alpha 7 actually changed up their drop location a little bit. I wonder if it was based off scouting efforts from our first couple of days of action. Yesterday, they were dropping and taking up the entire part of the southwest of the map, or southeast rather. And today, they're immediately snapping to this compound and taking out X-Force, who I'm sure they look
at a game here today. You drop into the match, instantly die. Like, that is just going to stop the momentum. So hopefully for X-Force and Shoot to Survive, they can forget about game number 1 and just keep their eye on the prize here moving forward.
Yeah, the good thing that is it's only Sandhawk, right? We're only going to be playing this match one time. They did try to make an adjustment to the previous 2 days. It doesn't end up working out in their favor. And it's not like it was just any other team. Alpha 7, I mean, this is a team that you mentioned in Powerbank too, a team that ended up switching a little bit of their locations. I think they might have saw X-Force and was like...
I contest them. Looks like they did change up their spots to maybe proactively take us down early. So just play a little safer. But look at this. We saw Ayala from Team Liquid and Mythic. They were snaking their way up here in the grass, and looks like they are able to get a elimination. Cardozo for 2-2 split for the time being. So they're setting up. They're setting up shop here, fellas.
7, I gotta ask. The Alpha 7 squad was the farthest team away from the circle. And they've rotated in and they've basically secured the biggest swath of that circle, but things are about to get hot. Everyone's starting to close in and take that southern compound and position down there. But what makes all of these teams want to stay to the east so bad? No, I mean, obviously Ruins you want to stay away from. There's a giant moat around it that makes it difficult to leave. But why is everyone so afraid of that west coast?
It's just that terrain change that you're going to be having there. I thought maybe Wolves early on, when we saw them going towards the north, I thought maybe they were going to be going for something that Dave absolutely loves, and that is going to be a boatation. It would have been the perfect time. I thought that was maybe what they were going to be scouting, if the Squash being able to actually perform. It seems like the players are able to rely a little bit more on him. And this is one of the things that some of the other teams didn't want to have to deal with, that rotation. If you wait too long, you're just going to end up getting picked apart. But to be completely honest, I'm hoping that Coop survives here, because if there's ever a player that you want to be alive in your team, it's going to be Coops.
I absolutely destroyed NA. I'm taking the blame here for game number 1. But listen, after this game, it's on you, right? After this game, it's on them. I'll take the blame for this game. But yeah, shout out to Coops right there. I saw he's got that mustache going. I might need to call him Mustache Coops here one day. But Influence Rage, Diego behind the boulder. I believe it's a 2v1 situation. He did get a knock. His teammates are trying to group up. Law is going to be behind the tree, on his knees, bleeding on out here, looking for some type of smokes, looking for some type of support. You know they want to pick up Law here, but it looks like United or Gaming, they're down to their last remaining member.
That was a really nice off angle from Joalco here.
And he's gone.
Unfortunately, gets shot in the ear on the way out. But, you know, he did a decent job keeping his team in the fight. Him versus the world right now.
I'm going to take the blame game number 1 for NA. But after this, it's on them. But I'm looking at Alpha 7. I want to really see what VIP can do. VIP all the way down there at the bottom leaderboards. They're in a good spot to maybe like spring a trap and backstab Alpha 7. And also Vicious Gaming actually over here. So VIP... Let's see. We see them rolling up in the vehicle over there downrange. But yeah, PB and 7 Coops, man, right there on the edge as a solo.
Yeah, Vows Gaming just going to be chilling. They only have mana right now. I'm actually surprised that Alpha 7 and some of the other teams are deciding not to make a rotation. They do have a bit of a tough stretch, and I think this might be why Alpha 7 is just waiting out. Coops might be making them think that it could be more players, because Alpha 7, with the vehicles that they have, they could end up making a rotation towards the south. There is some some compounds that are going to be open if they do decide to end up scouting. And Wolves, Coops, I mentioned it earlier. If you want a player to be alive, this is going to be the player. He already is up to 1 elimination. He's more than likely going to be making the live of Alpha 7 and some of the other teams a little bit harder. You were wondering what VIP was going to be doing. VIP decided to go a little bit higher and go for an actual just full crash on 9C, and is currently backfiring, Dave.
Absolutely wild, man. I mean, I saw them going up towards the north, and it looks like they doubled back around. Poppy Sour behind the boulder with the M4, going for that spray down. Can we connect on the remix as well and make this worth? Because right now he's the last one alive. The blue zone gonna be chunking him down. There goes his teammate bleeding on out right there. So Poppy Sour, last one for their squad. But like you said, PB, here comes Alpha 7.
Tough one from Squash out on the rear, guarding that flank, but he's going to get picked up here. The only thing they got to worry about right now is Poppy Sour coming over that ridge. I think they know someone is there, but Alpha 7 regroups, and once they take care of Poppy Sour, or Poppy Sour goes after the blue, they will control alone the southern part of this zone. Now, you guys asked what VIP was going to do. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking they're going to go beat some points for somebody. But that's not what I was rooting for. But that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. But here we are at the ruins. Coops finally goes out, but not before securing a couple points there for the Wolves. Here we go, though. It's kicking off at the ruins. These are always some of my favorite fights right now. We've got Influence, Rage, Royals of War going head-to-head right now. Law trying to pick up little boy here to get back into this fight, 7.
We knew it was going to be bound to happen. Some teams were going to have to crash here in ruins just to at least secure some placement, secure some terrain. As Law now being one of the players, one of the only 2 players that's alive. Diego more than likely is going to end up getting picked up. Law now trying to heal up, and Royals of War trying to do a bit of a reset here, trying to see if they can make it a 2 versus 3. But right now it is going to be a 1 versus 3. Aragod waiting a little bit too long there. He's going to be able to get off the revive, and he's going to be holding those angles, trying to see if he can heal off. And right now Royals of War is just gonna be on the aggression. There you go, Tonka getting the shotgun out, being able to connect with one shot. Aragod trying to see if he can connect with Little Boy, but Little Boy just holding that angle for him, and it's gonna be too much for Royals of War as Influence Rage sends them back to the lobby, and it's gonna be even harder to get out of ruins now, especially with the circle that we're working with.
Yeah, really good fight, though, for both squads. Hey, 7, that's your favorite spot, man. You were talking about ruins, looking forward to eat up, and that was a nice fight just to kind of sit back and spectate. Tonka almost getting that last DBS shot off to kind of get the win, but Influence coming out on top. But look at that whole fight kind of got the attention of Loops, who are going to be just straight up gatekeeping Influence now. So we'll have to stay up to date with that one, because look at this. Team Liquid looking to make a move. They heard the action over there as well.
VIP goes out in 9th place, managing to secure a couple of more spots, but not able to get into the rank points for this game. Intense game, laying down the law from the top, and just as expected, Influence Rage unable to make it out of ruins. They will go out. It was a beautiful fight, though. Man, it was a close one. Every millimeter counted in that one. Every millisecond counted in that one. The retreat was just at the right moment. He held on to the revive, which I thought he might let it go to try to defend. Really impressive fight, though, at the ruins there for Influence Rage, but they will go out here, but not before securing some points. So you love to see it. They're going to move up a bit, a little padding there between them and 4th place right now. But we look at the circle here as it collapses. And look at that. Only one compound left in this one. And it's intense game going out in 6th place here, Dave.
Yeah, a couple elimination points, though, so they're going to be pretty happy. 6 to be exact. So looking over here at Loops, they're going to be making the push, but Team Liquid right behind them, looking to get that sandwich action, looking to get up close and personal within grenade range. Looks like Loops already prepared. They heard and saw the vehicle, so now they're looking for the initial knock, and we're gonna have a all-out utility war right now in the northern half of well, this isn't in the zone anymore. So nice knock onto Ayala, but it looks like they had a nice little trade, little Molotov spread over here. Gonna be forcing Loops to pump their brakes, not making the initial pull up after that knock. But Team Liquid, they're just getting beat apart.
They are. Not only are they having to worry about loops here, they also have to worry about INCO, because INCO now, remember, they were sitting in that compound in the center of the circle for so long. That's no longer going to be within the circle. They're going to be ready for a third party if possible, because it's just going to give them full control. VT's going to be able to find Mythic right there from Team Liquid, and it's none other than Cardoso now being the last player alive for Team Liquid. And as I was mentioning, as I was setting it up, INCO is just waiting for him to make it towards them. And then on top of that, that allowed the opening for Alpha 7. Alpha 7 taking full advantage here of INCO getting just slightly distracted, trying to third party to find that is going to allow them to push up. And if Alpha 7 wins this, oh man, it's going to be scary for all the other teams left alive, for Savage and for Loops.
Savage Esports right now is the final boss. They're content to chill in the cabins, awaiting who wins the outside right now, and it looks to be Alpha 7 with all of the momentum. They push up the hillside, taking down a couple of INCO players. 2-on-4 is the current situation. Bruno's in on the ridge here. He is trying to hold Alpha 7 off, being incredibly patient. He's got to be beaten 100 times a minute right now. His heart rate, man, absolutely crazy, but he hasn't given himself away just yet. Incredible patience here, Dave, from Brunozen.
Yeah, it looks like they might have heard something. They're trying to mow down the grass, but homie is right here. I mean, he can smell them. You see Squash trying to get that jump going, trying to spot out the snake over here. Now here comes the blue zone. Here comes the spring of the trap, and there goes two, but Revo from downtown taking him out.
That's right, Alpha 7 being surprised there by Bruno. Let's see if they're going to be able to maybe get somewhat of a reset here. It's going to be a bit of a stretch, or maybe they're just going to be rotating in regards to just switching each other heals and whatnot. Savage has been sitting pretty for the longest time, and they're giving way too much time to Alpha 7 here to recover. This is not what you want to be able to do. This is not how you want to be able to handle this, and it's going to end up being a 4 versus 2 situation. Savage parking the bus in a way I honestly don't love it, Dave. You want to see a little bit more action out of a team, especially with all the fighting that was going on. They waited way too long, and it looks like they're just going to be denying the point. They're giving the win to Alpha 7.
Yeah.
They said you already have 30 points.
In a good spot, but I saw one member, and we might see it in the